Hello children, it's story time once again with Manjit. So let's hear the story about a girl called Rhea. Now Rhea was a joyful girl who loved to play football and music. What a combination! Music was in her bones. Her grandma often said that when she was born and let out her first cry, that cry itself was so very musical. She could play the tabla, the mouth organ, the guitar, and even the piano. Her room was adorned with a black and white football, a beautiful mouth organ, a lovely guitar, and a shining, sleek piano. Now, these musical instruments were just like family to her, and they all ate, danced, and laughed together. Now, one day, they were all watching their favorite music show on television. Who all were watching? Well, it was Rhea, her mother, and all her other instrument friends. So the show that they were watching was a very interesting one. Some children in the show were playing some musical instruments, some were singing, and some were dancing. The performances were as beautiful as the sunrise and as soothing as the moonlight. As the show ended, the audience got up and started shouting, "Encore! Encore! Encore! Encore!" Rhea and her instrument friends got very curious. They had never heard this word before. So they turned around and looked at Rhea. Rhea in turn turned to Mama and asked, "Mama, what does encore mean?" Mama replied, "Well, darling, it means once again." When someone loves your performance or your act or maybe whatever you did on stage, they say encore as a way of appreciation. It actually means that they loved what you did and want you to do it all over again. "Aha," said Rhea and her friends. "We get it now." Immediately the room changed into a stage. Rhea started singing, the tabla played, the guitar strummed, and the piano belted out a beautiful rhythm. So it was a happy and delightful performance. As it ended, Mama's voice said quietly, "Encore! Encore!" Papa and Grandma came down the stairs clapping and said, "Encore! Encore!" And the show began all over again. And thus the word encore came to be regularly used at Rhea's home. Every time Rhea made her bed so very neatly, Mama's quiet voice would say, "Encore! Encore! Encore!" Every time she read out a story to Grandma, a voice would say, "Encore." For every good night hug that Rhea would give her Papa would turn back and say, "Encore." Every time Rhea sang in a class, her classmates would get up and start saying, "Encore! Encore!" Every time she scored a goal on the football field, the whole school would stand up and start shouting, "Encore! Encore!" Every time Rhea donated some toys and books at the local orphanage, a quiet voice inside her would say, "Encore! Encore!" So children, every time you do something which makes you feel so good and so very happy, just turn around and say to yourself, Encore, Encore. And if you like the story, just turn around and shout loudly, Encore, Encore.